The Canadian Rockies are a wilderness with a main street running through it. Banff and Jasper hand you the mountains through a gondola, a hot spring, and a twinned highway fenced along both shoulders. 4 million visitors a year, never quite out of sight of a parking lot. So you step out at the pullout, phone up, and walk within 6 meters of an animal that has stopped reading as wild, and that comfort is the camouflage. This list isn't ranked by which predator is deadliest on paper, or which one would win the fight, the question every other mountain list answers with a bear, but by how completely the park's infrastructure, the town sites and the fenced highway and the gondola and the pullouts, taught 4 million visitors a year to read a wild animal as part of the scenery. And the animal at the top isn't hiding at all. It stands on the town lawn while people photograph it, and it injures more visitors than both bear species combined. Before we climb higher, tell me where you're watching from. Which stretch of this country you actually know? Have you stood at one of these pullouts, phone up, closer than 30 meters? Sure, the animal was tame. Drop the road, the trail, or the town site in the comments. Number 10. The bighorn sheep. Alberta's provincial mammal comes down out of the rock in winter, for one thing: the road. De-icing salt gathers on the pavement, and the sheep lick it straight off the asphalt and linger. Near Radium, on the British Columbia side of the Rockies, vehicles killed an average of 9.5 of them a year from 2001 to 2020, and 15 in one recent year. Parks Canada calls roads the biggest cause of wildlife death in the parks and drags salt licks off the shoulder to pull the sheep back. The salt that drew them there is the same thing that kills them. Number 10 is the one you slow down for. Number 9. The coyote. It trots the townsite margins at first light, along the golf course and the roadside, and most people file it as somebody's loose dog and look away. In the record of aggressive encounters across 25 Canadian national parks, it sits fourth, 86 incidents, behind only the elk and the 2 bear species. It is not the animal that starts the trouble, it is the dropped sandwich. A coyote loses its wariness fast wherever food is left within reach, and the one that has learned to expect it is the one that begins nipping at joggers and at children. Number 9 is the animal you mistake for someone's dog. Number 8. The moose. A bull stands roughly 2 meters at the shoulder and can weigh over 500 kilograms, and people crowd it for a photograph as though the size made it gentle. It does warn you, the hackles rise along the neck, the ears pin flat, it snorts and licks its lips, and almost nobody reads any of it. In these mountains, the moose is not the roadside fixture the elk became. It is a shy, thinning presence, maybe 150 left in Jasper, pressed by liver fluke and wolves and the highway. Which is exactly why the charge lands on someone certain it never would. Number 8 is the giant you're sure is gentle. Number 7. The deer, mule and white, tailed both. Alberta counted 7,449 large animals killed on its roads in 2024, the highest tally ever recorded, and more than 4,700 of them were deer. They cross most in the November rut, when roughly 80% of that season's collisions involve them stepping out at the road edge at dusk. The animal people fear has claws and lives in the backcountry. The animal that actually fills the emergency rooms walks into the beam at a pullout you chose for the view. Number 7 is the killer nobody pictures behind a windshield. Number 6. The Rocky Mountain wood tick. An adult female is 5 to 7 millimeters of animal, and a few of them carry a toxin in their saliva that can shut down a human nervous system from the feet upward, an ascending paralysis that lifts within a day or two once the tick is found and pulled off. People file ticks under Lyme disease and summer forests, and almost nobody has heard of the paralysis at all. The honest version is stranger than the scare. In Canada, it is essentially a British Columbia event, roughly 0 to 2 human cases a year, and none reported in people in Alberta. Number 6 is the threat too small to believe in. If you've come this far, you already read these mountains better than most of the 4 million who pass through. Subscribe and stay. The animals above this line are the ones people flatly refuse to believe live here at all. Number 5. The cougar. British Columbia holds perhaps 5,000 to 7,000 of them, the densest population on the continent. Alberta, another 1,500 to 2,000. And a confirmed attack is so rare that the whole of Alberta's history holds exactly one death. Francis Frost, 30 years old, ambushed while cross-country skiing near Lake Minnewanka in the winter of 2001. Everyone assumes a cat that size beside a busy town must be watching constantly. Yet when an attack was reported at a Banff trailhead in 2024, Parks Canada investigated and found no cougar and no sign of one at all. Number 5 is the ghost you're certain is watching. Number 4. The Plains bison. In the winter of 2017, 16 of them, 10 females, 6 males, were lifted back into Banff, into a valley they had been gone from for over a century. That herd now runs free, more than 130 animals, across a zone so remote the trail cameras log fewer than 60 human visits a year. People rehearse Banff's danger as bears and cougars and have no idea a herd of half-ton animals came home at all, the exact inverse of the elk. Invisible, not because it's tame, but because it's far away. Where visitors do get close, in Yellowstone, the Park Service says bison injure more people than any other animal, bears included. Number 4 is the herd you don't know came home. Number 3, the mountain goat. That serene white figure on the cliff is what dominates the whole high country. Across sites from Colorado to Alberta, goats won more than 95% of their contests with bighorn sheep. One researcher described them flipping from passive to aggressive astonishingly fast. Usually, the goat wins simply by walking steadily at a rival until it gives ground. When that fails, it drops its head and swings horns like daggers, and it craves salt so badly it will walk toward a hiker for the sodium in sweat and urine. That craving is not harmless. A habituated goat killed a man in Washington's Olympic National Park in 2010. Number 3 is the postcard that wins every fight. Number 2, the grizzly bear. This is the one they arrived afraid of, and it is quietly being pushed off the paved corridor people actually travel. Only about 65 to 70 grizzlies live in all of Banff, and their density has been falling near the roads and rising back in the country nobody walks. An attack here is so rare that the double fatality in October 2023 was the first grizzly-caused death recorded in the park in decades. Alberta lists the bear as threatened, though the federal reading is only special concern. Number 2 is the fear that points the wrong way. Number 1, the elk, the wapiti. It is not hiding. It stands on the cut grass in the middle of town while people walk up with their phones. And across 25 Canadian national parks, it was behind 1,803 of the aggressive encounters logged between 2010 and 2023, nearly 63%, more than the grizzly and the black bear put together. In the calving weeks of late spring, the cows kick and charge. Through the autumn rut, the bulls attack anything near the harem. And it kills no one. Parks Canada records no death from an aggressive elk in Alberta's parks in at least 20 years, only broken bones and concussions. It moved into town for the mown grass, and because the wolves and cougars won't follow it in. The infrastructure built the danger, then made it ordinary. Number 1 is the animal you stopped seeing as an animal. What links these 10 isn't size or teeth or which one would win the fight. It is that the Canadian Rockies are the most heavily managed wilderness on the continent. The fenced highway, the overpasses, the salt licks dragged off the pavement. And that same management is exactly what taught 4 million people a year to stand too close. Every animal here was handed a role as scenery it never agreed to play. So go back to the first thing you saw, The elk on the mown grass, the phone 6 meters away, the guard already down. It is still wild.